Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Tuesday, the 7th of December, comes to you from London. And we start by looking at the dollar index. A lot more green on the screen this morning, so markets are looking much, much happier. This is the weekly, daily, and 60-minute chart. Dollar is bullish on all three time frames, which means we're looking to these upside targets. These are the corresponding point and figure target charts. Looking at the euro dollar, that's therefore weaker, so we're starting to look to these downside targets, and we've got another 2% downside if we go lower. So really just trending lower all the time, breaking through the cloud. 2022 will not be a great year for the euro based on these charts. Sterling still can't break the 133 level, so we're bearish here against the dollar. Against the euro, we're sitting at 117.62. Sterling has suffered a bit lately with the idea that interest rate rise in the UK is now receding with the new COVID variant. So we are just seeing sterling having pulled back, but the trend is still very much up against the euro. Bitcoin back above the $50,000 mark, has had a really turbulent week the last few days, and we are back into short-term bullish. Looking like we might be finding cloud support there on Bitcoin. The 83,000 target still very much in train on these charts, but of course we've now got a downside target to look to as well. Watch for new upside targets thrusts off these lows. Does this create a buying opportunity for Bitcoin? And that's the big question. The S&P 500 index had a strong day yesterday, up over 1%. Did fall away a little bit at the end of the day, but the reality is that's a bit of a recovery. 4,500 is a clear support level now, so we need to just watch that. We are rolling over, but we're holding the medium and long-term bullish trends, so that's quite key. The Nasdaq also just fell away as well, so we are seeing that there as well. The future's up another 1% this morning, so it does suggest that the US market has got more scope to rise. We're seeing the Nasdaq actually up 1.7%, so a strong showing there. Really, markets starting to see the spectre of interest rates off the cards now, and the VIX volatility has fallen right back to 24, so the fear index is back into territory, which is just starting to look a little bit negative on that short-term chart. We're still at relatively high levels, above 20, but the reality is when we're at that 30 level, that was a bit scary for the market. Looking at the Ftse future, we're up 1% there. The DAX in Germany up nearly 2%. So we are seeing strong showings across the board, strong recoveries here. Not enough really yet to turn the DAX bullish, and the CAC 40 in Paris is up just under 2%, and that has actually gone into bullish territory and looks like we're finding cloud support right there as well. And so we've got these long-term upside targets still on European markets. So although we've had a bit of a wobble, looks like we're recovering and markets have taken that fall in their stride. We're seeing the Japanese market up 2% overnight, and the Hang Seng, which has had a terrible time, Evergrande not helping there, is up 2.7% overnight. Not enough yet to turn the dial bullish on the chart, but the fact is that we are seeing quite a strong recovery off the bottom there across the board in Asia. The Chinese market wasn't up greatly, but the Sensex in India up 1.6%. Still looking very long-term bullish on the charts, but not enough yet to turn that bullish either, and the Aussie market was up just under 1%. We'll take a look at the energy mix in a minute, but we're seeing soft commodities up. We're seeing sugar up 1%, wheat up nearly 2%. This does still fuel inflationary fears for some, but we have got these long-term targets there on wheat, so that's quite key. Gold is even up, but not up by much, and still can't get through that $1,800 mark, so that's quite key. We look at silver, we're up there. Platinum is up 1.6%, so that's looking pretty strong. And we are just seeing that back into short-term bullish territory. US 10-year yield sitting at 1.44%. The Fed no sooner announced that inflation may not be transitory, and suddenly markets see that the COVID variant is pushing markets lower, and yields are pulling back with the expectation that interest rates are now not going to rise. So bonds rising, yields are falling on that sentiment. Looking at the energy mix now, I'm running here on Thomson Reuters Icon and Bloomberg, so I could run on Bloomberg or Thomson Reuters. The choice is yours. I'm running on both. We see here Brent Crude this morning is up 2%, so that's looking really strong, and we made a bullish call there for clients this morning. US nat gas has had a real torrid time the last week, has been falling below the cloud, and that's been really quite significant, and we are just seeing here that that's Yet to pull into bullish territory, although we do have a couple of upside targets. So we've gone neutral there. Coal sitting at 108.05, pretty steady at this level. Below 100, we're bearish, of course. We've tested that level twice now. MBP is up 6.5% this morning. It's hard to see. We have just edged higher, but we don't really have many upside targets. So it's a pretty hard call at the moment as to whether we go higher. We probably need a pullback and then a thrust target to give us some clarity there. Looking at German power, up nearly 5%, crashing through the 160 level, back to these high levels that we saw back at the beginning of October. So, of course, we've only got a few weeks to go on this contract. And if we look at 2023, next year's Cal, that's clearly making new highs and looking pretty bullish as well. And we've got upside targets brewing there too. So, looking pretty strong. And last of all, Nordic Power, the quarterly chart up 9% this morning. Again, we called this bullish for clients today, and that's looking strong as well. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.